Hi, welcome to the Writing Gals, four sweet romance authors hanging out in the afternoon. Used to be staying up late, but we changed that.
The light's better in the day.
Yes, it is. And we are more awake and, not ready to go to sleep. So this is great. Okay, so today we are planning to talk a little bit about writing sprints because it is NaNoWriMo, and a lot of us are trying to get our 50,000 words written in the month of November so that we can, reach our goals and get our books done faster and just have a lot of fun. Sometimes it's just fun to challenge yourself if that's not something that you normally do, which would be something I don't normally do that. So it's definitely a challenge. But we wanted to talk a little bit about different tips and things that we have done in the past to be able to do that. But first, let's kind of go around and give an update on what is going on with our writing these days. And let's start with Amy or Anne-Marie. Sorry, I always say your name wrong.
That's fine. If I'm looking over here, it's because I have a bigger screen that makes everything a lot bigger. And so it's funny when I go from here to my screen, I'm like, I can't see what that letter is. So I just finished the third book in my Magnolia series this week. I've been getting up at 6 o'clock every morning and writing for a couple of hours, and that's helped me get a lot of words written. I think I wrote like 15,000 words this week on that book alone. So that book is now done and over. Thank goodness. It's been weighing on me. I was writing it while I was at our retreat. That's how long I've been writing it for. So I'm happy to have it done.
That's not very long.
It's long for me, but it was a 60,000. It ended up being a 60,000 word book. So, which is not like a big deal for me because it's not in KU. So I was kind of like, but it needed those extra words. So that's done and over. And it was like a huge relief to have it done. I was like, yesterday I was walking around and I was like, I get other things done, but I'd always have this like weight of like, this book has to be done. I need to finish this book. And so yesterday it wasn't like that, which was nice. But then I have my co-writing book that we are trying to finish this week as well. We've been working on that one for a while as well. But Christina has had tons of books she's personally writing. So, and I was okay with not being pushed to co-write. Mm-hmm. And Michelle is joining us from the Twilight Zone.
I was hoping it would get better, and it's not, guys. So it's getting worse, I think. I might have to switch devices here in a second.
That's fine. So anyways, I'm just writing. I'm going to do Nano. I think I'm already partly way there, so I might as well just keep writing. But my goal is to get up every morning and get words written, even if it's not in the past. So I'm going to do that and write and release and not try to lose my mind. I did set a goal and I started a vision board in my office since it's a new fiscal year for authors. So that was kind of one of my things to set up because I'm starting to think about my 2021 goals, watching our old videos to figure out what was my goals for 2020 and did I meet them or not? So it was interesting to rewatch it.
Yeah. Did you meet them? Are you going to give us that spoiler, or are we going to talk about it later at the end of the year?
Well, I think I set some like really basic goals for myself that I could hit even if I didn't want to, or if I didn't try. One of them was to be a USA Today bestseller, and I hit that.
Yeah. And twice in the same week.
Yeah, I know. And then it was basically just like trying to take better care of myself and writing less, I think was what I wanted, and being more meaningful with each release. And then in terms of like income, it wasn't that I wanted to necessarily make more, but I just wanted to not spend as much on advertising. And I think I'm getting to that point. So I made more this year than I did last year. So that was positive. I'll have to look at what my ad spend was and that sort of thing. But when you don't release as much, you don't have as much like external expenses. Like you don't have to pay an editor as much. And I do my own covers now and all those kinds of things. It's just kind of makes things a little bit cheaper. But
yeah.
I definitely have some giant goals for 2021 that I'm not off to the greatest start, but when the first week of a new fiscal year has an election in it, you got to give yourself a little grace for things maybe not turning out exactly the way you want them to. With all the craziness, I doubt a lot of people are reading. I have a feeling they're all just watching the news, kind of like, do I really want to look? Do I not?
I know.
And
the closest election ever. It's funny. Cool. Well, you have been very busy. That's awesome. What about you, Victorine? What have you been up to?
So I am more than halfway done with my next book. It is the second book in my rom-com series, my Billionaire Club series. So I'm super excited about that and just working on hard to get it done because it is up on pre-order right now and it goes live the 30th or the 31st. So the end of the month it goes live. So I got to get it done and get it uploaded and edited and all that stuff. So that's what I'm working on right now, cramming to get it done. But I'm over halfway, which is very good.
Yeah, that's always when I'm like, okay, I can do this.
Yes.
It works a little better for me. Awesome. It's exciting. And Michelle is still doing something else, so I will go. For me, I just published Friend Zone to End Zone on Tuesday, which is great when it's an election and whatever. So we'll see how it goes. I might really be taking this slow launch thing to heart and just really starting out slow and build it up. But yeah, so far it's been good. And the few reviews that I have gotten have been good. So that's a relief. And yeah, I also finished doing my point of view revision for my book, Assisting My Brother's Best Friend. That one was in first person point of view, no, third person when I first published it. But since the rest of the series is in first person, I decided to switch it. And so I finished that this morning and sent it off, the rest of it, to my proofreader, and I can hopefully upload it soon. So right now everyone's getting the older version still, but yeah, that was fun. And it was interesting to go back through my writing and just seeing how differently I do things now compared to how I wrote a few years ago. And I don't know if it was so much the different point that third person is different from first, or if I just have gotten a lot better or something. I don't know. But yeah, I'm like, oh, well, I'm glad I'm getting better at least. So this is good.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's just what I'm doing. And I'm ready to start my newest book. And I'm starting a young adult series. I haven't written that for about almost a year and a half. And so it'll be good to get back to that genre again and hang out with these teens. And I'm really excited about it. I hope I can figure it out because it's going to be a little tricky. And
yours are always a little tricky, Judy. How do you do that?
This one is like, if I can pull it off, it'll be amazing. And if not, then I will just be going a different route with it. So we will see how it goes. But I'm like not going to say anything about it really because it's my secret project. So that, yeah, be looking for it in the future. Anyway, Michelle, are you ready to tell us what you've been doing?
Yeah, I'm just not going to have a camera today.
Okay.
So I just published a short Christmas story that was in an anthology from a couple of years ago as a single title. And I've got another one that I'm going to publish. I'm writing my Christmas one for this year, which is Starlight and Mistletoe. And I'm really excited about that. And I'm also working on my fourth rom-com. And I just started my co-writing project that I am playing with. And that's kind of my secret project. That's not secret, but you don't get any details. And anyways, so lots of stuff going on and probably too much stuff going on. But my kids are starting to go back to regular school. And it's making a big difference. I'm also trying to get up early. And some mornings I'm successful and some I'm not. But I don't get the same word count Amy does when we get up at the same time. But it's much more than I get any other time of the day. And I'm able to, it's awesome to be able to like get it done. What's funny?
It turned to just Victorine for a second. Sorry.
Sorry, I clicked the wrong button. I was like, what did I do?
I missed something. And then the rest of the day, I don't feel so much pressure because I haven't written. Yep. So that's really the awesome part of it is I feel like I got that super big priority out of the way, and the rest of the day is just so much easier.
Yep.
So that's my life. Too many books.
It is hard adjusting your schedule
Yeah.
though. Like I'm struggling. I can get up, but it's like by like 6 o'clock, I'm like, everybody needs to leave me alone because I'm
Yeah.
super tired. And like 8:30 rolls around and I'm like, I'm not tired, I'm
Oh,
awake. I'm
really?
like, ugh.
I'm just like 8 o'clock. I'm off duty, guys. Like, go away. I sent you to bed a long time ago. Like, go.
So I've decided that I'm just going to take an afternoon nap when I need to.
Yeah.
Um,
That's what my husband tells me. He's like, take a nap. And I'm like, but then I really won't be able to fall asleep.
Yeah.
you have to do it early enough in the day. Like I'll even take one at like 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
If I get up at 6, I could totally take a nap at 10 o'clock.
I've taken naps at 7 a.m. before because I like was up at 3:30. Like,
You guys see me yawning a whole bunch because I am tired.
I'm like, I can write in the morning and nap in the afternoon, but I can't always write in the afternoon. I can always nap in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So
That's true. If I push my writing off until the afternoon, I'm like too tired to want to write.
yeah.
Or 4 sentences.
So 15 minutes in. I'm just looking at the clock because I have to go pick my son up today, unfortunately, at 3. So
okay. Well, then let's move into actually talking about how we are really keep productive during sprints, or what you do to make it a good sprint versus times when it maybe doesn't work as well.
I really love the Scrivener app, that part that you can zoom your computer screen in and all you see is your words, and it does typewriter, so it doesn't make you go all the way to the bottom. It keeps your words in the middle of the page, so you just keep your eyes straight and you can't. I don't know. There's something I could sit and write like 3,000 words in an hour at that without even thinking about it. I don't know why, but that's been huge for me, especially these last couple of days with sprinting. I don't get as distracted. And it's harder to just like be like, oh, I'm just going to tab over here and see what's going on Facebook. Like you have to like exit out and then go in. And so it's a little bit less distracting to do it that way. But I think it's easier on your eyes. So you're not always looking at the bottom of your screen. You're looking straight at the center.
Which brings up another good point with the distraction thing. A lot of times when you're sprinting, you're going to get to something you don't know, and you might be tempted to go look it up or look how to spell a word or look up in a thesaurus a different word that you can't remember or whatever. And a good tip for sprinting is just to use some kind of visual cue to come back to it later. Yeah. Like it's not about getting everything perfect. It's just about getting all of your ideas and as much information down as fast as you can. So
I always put it in dollar signs. Like if I don't know the character's last name or their eye color, I'll put dollar signs around that, so I'll know I need to fill that in later. Yeah, there's a whole lot of different tricks that people use, either brackets or some kind of symbol you don't normally use, or a word you don't normally use, or something like that. But just some kind of place marker that you can search for later. Yeah. And for me, I know that I do a lot better when I'm like ready to sprint. Like I've done my prep work and I know what I'm going to be writing. And it's always helpful for me to like read over what I wrote the day before or whatever, just so I'm in the scene and ready to go. So just really being prepared to sprint helps me. Otherwise, there's nothing worse than trying to write fast when you have no idea what you're doing. Like the beginning of a chapter is not where I like to start sprints. Yeah. Or if I change chapters in the middle of a sprint, it's like, I'm dead. I'm just dead in the water. That's it. Yeah. Okay. Any other thoughts before we actually start? I really like to use visual timers, even if someone else is keeping time. There, you can get an app for visual timers, and it gives you like a clock face, but it's got like a solid red portion for whatever you set it to, and then you can see the time melting away instead of just the numbers. And some brains just work better with seeing that visual representation of how much time you have. So I really like it. Personally. Well, I think too, it's important to note that you don't have to sprint by time. You can sprint by words. So you can say, once I get to 500 words, I can take a break. Yeah, so that works better for me. If you're a person who doesn't like time, just like if for me lately, it's been once you write a chapter, then you can do something else or go do something, look at something else. So it's not necessarily has to be times. It can also just be to some point. That's when you can
that's what you can be done. Or, you know, if you're watching a TV show, say, I don't know if anybody watches commercials anymore, but you can say, I'll sprint while there's on commercials, you know, and then I can be done. So don't feel like if timers don't work for you, don't feel like you have to be blocked into just timers.
One night, Amy and I were sprinting every 100 words together.
We were needing to get it done because we were not motivated at all. We're like, okay, person of 100 words. And it's amazing how fast we can write 100 words when that happens. So, and
yeah,
says, she's like, when I write 500 words, I get a cookie. So like, give yourself a reward for hitting your thing. I think a lot of times too, we sprint and we think, oh, that was good, I should just keep going. And sometimes like, no, you should take a break and you should reward yourself and then do it again. I mean, if you're in the groove, stay in there, but don't feel that pressure to have to keep going and going and going.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun to sprint with friends or other groups because it helps to motivate you to keep going. And there are special sprint groups on Facebook you can find, sometimes by genre, sometimes just for anything that can help, with scheduled times to sprint, or you can start one of your own, or just call, text message a writing buddy. You can do it by yourself, but we all know that motivating yourself is kind of hard. You just got to not talk so much in between sprints.
Yeah.
I
do notice I struggle with sprinting if in my co-writing books. So somebody just said, do you feel like you have to cut a lot of material you've created during the time you sprint? I don't feel like I have to cut material, but it's not as easy for me because when I am switching off chapters with my co-writer, normally I sit down to work on our book. I have to read her chapter first, do my little edits to it, and then I have to write my next chapter. But I struggle with that because I haven't realized until now how much we think about our books prior to writing it. So if I have not thought about my book, or if I get stuck, I don't force myself to write. Sometimes I just walk away so I can let it mull in my mind and then come back to it. That helps decrease the amount of stuff I would have to delete if I haven't thought about it. So my sprints do vary based on what it is I'm writing and how much time I've had to actually think about what I want to do in the next part of my story. I think as writers, we never turn that part of our brain off. And that's always just, in the back of our mind while you're watching TV or you're taking a shower. What am I going to do next? So I would say definitely if it's pulling teeth and you're feeling like you are writing crap, you might be writing crap. So take a step away, think about it, and then come back. Or have it and then delete it. And, but maybe there was something good that came out of it.
So I find that sometimes I get myself all like funked and depressed if I am not sprinting as fast as someone else. And I just have to remember it's not as much about beating someone or getting the same word count that they do. It's more about me pushing myself. And so I just like to find a good steady pace where I'm writing well and I'm not writing junk, but I'm also, going at a good clip. So that's kind of where I try and find that sweet spot personally.
Yeah. And I found I delete a lot less when I am ready to sprint, like I'm prepared. Otherwise, if I'm just, it's time to sprint, everyone's sprinting right now, I better do this, then I throw it all away anyway. So
I sprint faster when I've prepped, when I have outlined my chapters too.
Yeah,
exactly. If I jot down notes about what I want to have happen next, I'm like, okay, this has to happen, then this has to happen, then this has to happen. Then I'm much more centered and know where I'm going, and I don't have to go back and delete. But if I just sit down and like, I got to get it done, and so I just type random stuff, then that's when I have to go back and delete and change a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Is that all of our tips before we get started?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to do 2 20-minute sprints with how long of a break in between, should we say? Just whenever we start again.
Like 5 minutes, maybe?
Okay. With probably a 5-minute break if you need to go to the bathroom. Or
where we can answer questions for anybody.
Yeah, we can do that.
Few minutes.
Yeah. Okay. So I will have the timer and it's set for 20 minutes. So are you ready? Let's go. Did y'all hear that? Time to
Yay.
stop. Okay, how many words did you guys get?
So my son called me away and I had to go do stuff. So I didn't get a lot of words, but I'm in the zone now.
That's good. I got 400. I just am starting my book, and so it's just a lot of outlining.
I got 189.
Nice.
I got 1,050. But I'm also at the end of my book. So it's just like wrapping things up.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Cool. And then if any of our people watching have got their words all counted up, you can put it in the comments and we can all just be excited for you. But
Amanda,
yeah,
you're asking about my Christmas story in the anthology. It was in the anthology. It was in Love, Snow, and Mistletoe. It's the name of the anthology. So I don't know if you've read it or not, but the single title is called Shoestrings and Mistletoe. And yes, it's in KU. I had to rename it because it needed to match the rest of the series. A second chance
what
for
had it
Christmas.
been called before?
So now I just might recycle that title later on.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So is there shoestrings in it, or are they like on a shoestring budget?
Yeah, kind of. She's a single mom with a little 3-year-old girl who has shoelaces that the guy ties for her, and I added that back in. I added that in to fix the title. And yes, they live on a shoestring budget, which is also now mentioned in the story.
Yeah.
Nice.
You got to work those titles in so they make sense.
Looks like Harvey the Puka got 683 words. It's awesome. Cool.
So
I think it's so important just to set aside time to write.
Yeah. It is.
You know, that you're like, and I think for some people who really like schedules, sometimes it's good to be like, from this time to this time I write, so that everyone in your family knows and you know. I wish my life was more planned out than it is, but it's not. So I have to be very.
Yeah, that's why the mornings work out so good, because nothing is ever scheduled for 6 a.m.
Yep.
Like if I look at my calendar today, I have 6 appointments today that I had to go to. I had an appointment to give blood. Both of my girls had doctor's appointments. I have a Zoom meeting for my daughter I had to get on. I had this. I have another Zoom meeting that I have to go to tonight. And then I don't know, there's one other thing I can't remember right now, so I should probably go look at my calendar. And it's just like when you have a day like that, you're just scattered and running around, and like it's hard to just sit down and do this. So I wouldn't be writing today if it weren't for podcasts being on my list of things to do today.
Yeah. Oh, my yogurt.
What are you eating, Judy? Oh, I keep seeing you take this like tiny little spoon bite. Are they like baby spoons?
Yogurt. Makes it last.
Hey, you guys want to see? Oh, you can't see. I'm gonna have to turn my camera back on if it will. Hold on. Let me see if it'll work. I worked on something all day yesterday. You're gonna think I'm so weird.
Oh, now she's gone.
I'm not gone. It just won't turn on at all. Dang it. Okay. It's this tonkatsu bone broth that I made. Tonkatsu. I don't know if I'm saying it right. It's this Japanese broth that they use for ramen.
Oh, I thought you said bra. I'm like, oh, does it go with your booms and nibbles store? Or nibbles and booms, whatever.
A Japanese broth. No, it's a broth. I boiled these pork bones for 12 hours yesterday.
Oh, wow.
And I wanted to, I know, it's crazy. And I wanted to show you because it's like this milky white color.
Oh, wild.
And it's,
Does it taste good?
Yeah, it's this really rich.
Does it taste good?
Almost creamy broth. It's really awesome.
Nice.
That's why I wish I could show you, because it's a cool color. Anyway.
Yeah.
Now everybody's like, yeah, Michelle's weird.
No, I need to work on my
hungry.
office. She's doing things. I need to work on my office. See that? Isn't it so great?
Well,
Stack of stuff.
for someone who just moved, yes, it looks
It's
great.
actually really good.
Well, you haven't seen my desk. It's you know, we're lucky that I'm working at it today. So, but okay, is everyone ready to go again? You think?
Yes, I'm not gonna be able to stay for this sprint. And I'll get back before you guys are over, but I had fun.
Okay, it was
Thanks
fun
for
to have
joining
you.
us.
I'll take my little black screen away now. All right, bye
Bye,
guys.
Michelle.
I don't want to end broadcast. I just want to leave. How do I just leave? Oh.
She's gone. Okay.
You just close, and then it doesn't take you out. Someone said they went down a rabbit hole. I usually write with Google Docs and I've tried Scrivener by playing with Readsy Editor. What's
no.
Readsy Editor? Is that like where you upload your manuscript to it and add stuff?
Never heard of it.
Amy, I'll have to tell.
Victor, have you started putting on like those like in your paperbacks where you can do like a full image?
Like,
Have you seen you can do that in Vellum? Do you have Vellum?
I do have
Yeah, you have
Vellum.
Vellum. Someone was saying you can do like a full picture that goes from like into chapter 1. So you could do like a suit on a guy and have like it go.
I haven't played with that. Is that like a new thing in Vellum?
I don't think it's new. I just don't think anybody knew about it or
I
knows.
don't even know what you're talking about. What?
So like in your first chapter, you could have like an image that goes from here to here. Or you could have it like I've seen some people like if they're writing a billionaire, they start it with like they put like a text picture here or like a tux picture on their first chapter or their chapter, and it's just a picture, and then their text changes color so you can actually read it. But it makes it like it's not like a heading, chapter heading. It's like a whole image.
Oh,
Cool. I haven't played with that. That's fancy.
yeah.
Up on Vellum, and it's just like because I know I'm like in our ballerina academy, we put the ballet one as like an image that's actually like a page, but you can actually like put an image on the actual like text. So that's interesting.
I still don't understand, so I will just have to look into that. Okay, should we start?
Let's do.
Okay, I don't know what I'm going to write, so we'll see how this goes. Okay, ready, set, go. funny to watch you jump, Amy.
I was just so into my book.
Oh, I can't even hear anything. I don't even have my things on. I live in my own little world
Mocking me.
laughing.
That's so great.
I always forget about these for so like, yeah, leave the room and then come back in my own little world.
I can't remember where I started writing. But I just made one of the characters have a baby in a car.
Oh, nice.
I got 1,000 words. Well, he's a doctor and her best friend's pregnant. I'm like, well, but I don't want to go into too much detail because it's literally her best friend's like ex-boyfriend that's delivering the baby.
Fun. Nice. I got 159 words, I think.
Yay. I got 350.
Awesome. And looks like Amanda got 800.
Yay.
Dialogue is always fastest for me, too.
Yeah, dialogue is faster for me too.
I have 0 dialogue so far. So lots of deep, brooding thoughts going on.
Are you starting at the guy's perspective or the girls?
It's the girls. And I just can't say much because
You're just going to tell us afterwards, right?
Okay. Sure. You can't tell anyone now.
Mum's the word.
Yeah.
I wrote 5,000 words today because this wasn't my only sprint. I read this morning too.
Nice.
So I am like, this is coming from someone who hasn't been writing like at all recently.
Yeah.
Good. Nice to get back.
Harvey the Puka got 605. Yeah. Good job.
Awesome. Like someone leave us soon. It's rushing to get the Nano goal before midnight. I've only actually beat Nano one time, but yeah, I remember like I had to try to stay on track every day because if you get behind, then it's like really hard to catch up. So yeah, definitely staying.
Or you just do like me and you write it like all in the first week or 2, and then you're done. You don't have to worry about it.
Oh, if only I should have done that. Why didn't I do that?
Yeah. Be like Amy and just write the whole book.
Hey, you know what though? There's always someone who writes faster than me. Yeah. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
And I did struggle with my last Magnolia book. It was the middle part I was struggling a lot with. Once I got towards the end and I knew where I was going, then it was faster.
Yeah.
But what can you do? Well, I think that's it, right?
Yeah, I think so. Just looking at the comments.
Yep, this will be all our sprints for today, but you can go ahead and continue to do sprints and set your own
back
timers.
To the beginning of your other sprints if you want.
That's right. Just watch it again.
Do it every day.
Pretend like it's live and
we may do a new one in the future, but hey, if you want to write with the writing gals, just keep on watching this. I will get the same word counts every time.
That's right. It'll be on YouTube.
But yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And if you speed it up like at 1.5, then I am that faster of a writer.
Yeah. And I'll just sound really, really slow.
That's great.
Oh, well. Okay, well, thank you for hanging out with us and writing with us. This was fun. And good luck on reaching all of your goals. If you're doing NaNoWriMo, good luck with that. That's exciting. I may actually decide to join in on that for real. We will see. But it's a good goal to have. So have a great rest of your day. See ya.
Yes. Bye.